Hello, Internet, and welcome once again to the Free-to-Play Cast, brought to you by MMOBomb.com, your home for all things free-to-play related. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, a.k.a. Magic Man, and we've got free-to-play news galore. Some of it weird or just bad, and then some of it updates to stuff we talked about last week, and some of it a peek at other things, and yeah, I mean, we're just all over the board today. Joining me to go over all of it, Mr. Troy Blackburn. What's up, New Fridge?
I'm here. I bet you can't guess what we're going to talk about today.
Wait. I mean, it's no. Surely not.
Nope. Nobody has any idea what's going to happen later on in this show.
It is August 6th. Something happened today on Steam. We have an interview, and I'm trying to entice Troy with an Exalted Founders Pack key to stream the game this Thursday. We are doing the show live on Twitch TV, so twitch.tv/MMOBomb. We do stream over here Monday, Thursday, and Friday. I wasn't able to do Monday. I apologize, but I will be going live after the show today. Troy was catching up on some Guild Wars yesterday. Those streams are always at 2 p.m. Eastern. Give us a follow, head on over, and hang out with us. But while you're here on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe, that notify. Help us out if you like what we do here. Spread the word. Get others to come. Also on the line, Mr. Wilfredo Rivera. What's up, sir?
What's going on? It's Friday, and it's a day. And you know what that means? Troy's got something to rant about, and I've got something to rant about, too.
Uh-oh. Well, damn.
Yeah.
I don't have a Founders Pack for you. I have one for Troy if we can convince him. Chat, this is going to be up to you, I mean, right? He does succumb to peer pressure. We saw this on one of his streams during a beta for Bless Unleashed. Live, we saw peer pressure work. So if you want to see Troy stream Bless Unleashed on the PC this coming Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, let us know in the comments. And then you got to show up. Otherwise, there was no point. But before we get started with the news today, I've got a surprise for you gentlemen and for chat. And for chat, do you want me to gift sub so Troy plays Blessed? Chat chiming in with us live. Before we get to the news, we've got big news. We have been running for a little over a month now the top free-to-play game in quarantine tournament. Now, you have been voting over and over. We started with a field of 64 free-to-play champions vying for the title. Your votes whittled it all the way down, March Madness style, to 2 games. Warframe and Path of Exile. They have been duking it out with your votes for the last week. We're going to go live to our correspondent in the field, reporting from the Warframe/Path of Exile polls, Mr. Jason Winter. Jason Winter, can you hear us?
Yeah, barely, Mike. We got a lot of chaos here.
Yeah.
There's shooting and there's explosions all over the place. Listen to this. Oh my God. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Okay. Gosh. Okay.
I'm not sure what is going on. I'm not sure what is. Jason, are you safe?
It is madness. I am safe. I've found myself. I'm in a bunker right now. I'm here to report on the best free-to-play game of quarantine.
We hear things being tabulated in the background. Things have been closed for an hour now. In your experience, have you talked to some people going in, taking their votes? Has anything seemed odd? Any irregularities? Has it been smooth? Has it been rough? What is going on?
I mean, I did have to shoot some people for voting twice.
Well, that's not good.
It's been fine.
It's fine. Other than that, other than murder, it's been totally fine. It's been totally fine.
If it's justified, it's not murder.
Do we expect either one of these games to file lawsuits challenging the certification of the best free-to-play game in quarantine?
Well, I don't know about Warframe, but I know that Chris Wilson's hair is about as far from Donald Trump's as it can be, so I don't think we're going to have an issue there.
I think we're going to be okay. Well, the results are in.
I think so.
You have all the votes. You have them tabulated. Before you give us the game, tell us the percentage. Can you tell us the percentage? Who won?
Yes.
Okay, what do we got?
60.2% to 39.8%.
So basically like a 60-40 split. A 60-40 split. That's pretty damn close. That is pretty damn close.
It is better than some of these other. It's better than what some of these games had going through. Path of Exile had a few games where they won like 92-8 or something like that in some of theirs. So.
That's disgusting. Yeah. All right, Troy, before we get the winner from our infield correspondent, if you had to guess, maybe not your personal vote, but if you had to guess who won, would it have been Warframe or Path of Exile?
Oh, man, that's a tough call. You talk about two heavyweight champions of the free-to-play world. My heart says Warframe. They're usually pretty good at mobilizing the community if they've caught wind of where they are in the finals here. So I'm going to go Warframe.
Wilfredo. Maybe not your personal vote, but who do you think won?
Troy brings a really good point to the table that these are heavyweights in free-to-play.
No doubt.
But my heart tells me it's Warframe just by a little bit, though.
All right, I should say that when these two titans immediately were the finals, we did send emails to both development houses letting them know they had made the finals. Do with it what you will. If you want to tweet it out, put it on your forums, whatever, to engage your player base. We did notify both teams, to Troy's point of Warframe tends to mobilize pretty well. You two went with Warframe, and while I think I personally would have voted with Warframe, I'm going to go with Path of Exile, probably squeaking this out. 60-40's close. 60-40's close with two titans.
You've got to be contrary, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, I just think Path of Exile pulled it out. I know Warframe won a similar tournament we ran years ago, or at least placed very highly in it if they didn't flat out win it.
I think we've done two of these before. Warframe won one, Path of Exile won the other.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Path of Exile. So chat is putting their votes into. I'm seeing lots of Warframes, lots of Path of Exiles. Jason, the big moment is upon us. Who is crowned MMO Bomb's best free-to-play game in quarantine?
The winner, with 60.2% of the votes, 60.2, not 62.0, is Warframe.
Oh! Damn it.
Dun-da-da.
Damn it. Well, congratulations to Digital Extremes and Warframe and all you Warframe fans. Congrats, Troy. Congrats, Wilfredo. You got the guess right. I lose with the Path of Exile guess. So Warframe it is. They are the titles. Jason, make sure you are able to get out of the polls there safely. Get home to your loved ones. Thank you for your live reporting. We're going to head over to the news. All right. Before we get to what Troy specifically asked me, can we please talk about on the free-to-play cast today?
I sent him so many messages asking, please cover this game this week, and I would like to be on the show.
We do have some news. Now, that could be something good, something bad, something confusing. It's just kind of, we did talk briefly a few episodes ago through the Hearthstone being free-to-play connection about the issues going on with Blizzard. It was the framing for our question of the week last week, which we'll get to your feedback on that show later in the show today. But on the Blizzard Activision front, a lot has been happening. We've had a lot of different revelations as far as the pictures of the alleged Cosby suite and Fran Townsend deciding she wanted to tweet about the problems with whistleblowing before she then deleted her Twitter account after blocking employees on there. Just a whole bunch of shenanigans. The one piece of this I want to bring to today's show and get your gentleman's opinion. In addition to the senior VP of HR leaving the company, President J. Allen Brack has stepped down. He became the president when Mike Morhaime left in 2019. Taking his place is going to be a duo. It'll be like a dual, co-lead thing going on right now with Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra. They're going to co-lead Blizzard moving forward and will share responsibilities over game development and company operations. Now, this is not... this is something I said early that, Brack is gone. Brack is basically gone. The only thing I thought was they were putting maybe a little bit of time in between the announcement of the lawsuit and him actually leaving the company or being forced to leave the company, just so that they didn't get like that double blow of bad news type thing. but then waiting it out just kind of made things worse with all the different additional bad news that kept coming out in that time. So Brack is out. These two are in. Troy, I know they have, I think everybody on this panel would agree, they have a very, very far way to go. This does not in any way, shape, or form solve, mitigate, fix, make amends for problems. But just looking at Brack leaving in a vacuum, what are your thoughts?
It had to happen. There's no way that couldn't have happened. If you're not guilty by the actions that you took, you're guilty by inaction. And if you didn't know, you're just bad at your job. So he had to go. Upper management has to go. They have to clean house. And I know that there are some, and I'm not insulting anybody, there are some WoW fans who do mental gymnastics to justify why they're still playing the game and stuff. And they're super excited that Ibarra plays the game. It's rated like Mythic Plus. They're excited about that, but that's not what needs to be addressed here. That's not what these two need to focus on in the beginning. They need to focus on cleaning up the culture, cleaning up the company, and make it a good place to work. And then we can get back to making good games. Goodbye to J. Allen Brack. You were the president of the most mediocre period in Blizzard history.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly a stunning resume. Now, I'm a little more gentle than you, Troy, when it comes to people saying things like why they still play a Blizzard game in particular, or World of Warcraft, to be ultra specific. To me, you just don't know somebody's situation, right? I mean, there are a lot of people I know that are like, yeah, I would stop playing this right now, but I'm subbed for the next year.
Yeah, they just sub-block.
They already have my money. There's nothing I can do about that, so I might as well enjoy my time with my friends. Or people that this is all they play. This is their relaxation and stuff like that. So, I kind of step back a little bit on judging individuals in the situation, but I can't agree with you more. Brack had to go. More have to go. Wilfredo, when you saw the news break, we posted it on MMOBomb.com. I'm sure you weren't surprised, but what did you think initially?
This is exactly what a cowardly dog does. Tucks tails and leave. I stand with Troy on this, with many other people with this. Upper management needs to go, right? We need a complete restructure from the top down. And I think if in regards to those who are still playing Blizzard games, hey, if you already invested the money, go ahead and enjoy what you can. But me personally, I've taken a step back. I haven't touched Diablo. I'm not going to feed into that stuff right now. For me, it's when I see that the culture has changed in the company where people feel safe to go back to work and don't have to worry about that kind of fear or that kind of trolling or that kind of harassment in any way, shape, or form, then I'll start to look back into it, which sucks because I was really interested in getting Diablo 2 Resurrected. It's off the table right now. Doesn't mean I won't go back to it, but I have to first see how the company develops, and seeing the upper management tuck tail and leave, good riddance to bad things.
Yeah, and obviously we don't know if this was a voluntary thing. It's being touted as a voluntary thing, but you never really know what's going on behind the scenes, right? It could just say, hey, I got to go. I'm bad for your company right now. Even if I feel like I didn't do anything necessarily wrong, I'm bad for the company and I want the company to do well. Or it could be, Troy, you need to leave or we're going to fire you. Pick one. You don't know. I don't want to see anybody that ends up being implicated in this type of stuff, getting away with golden parachutes and shit like that. I hate that. Troy, to a point you've made, as far as you either knew and did nothing or you didn't know, both are bad. When you're talking about something to this scale, I've said it often, I don't expect CEOs to know about Troy in the accounting office embezzling $800 every 3 weeks. I do expect Troy to know a culture of the entire financial department embezzling money on a daily basis. Either that type of stuff. When things get into the culture like that, I do expect the CEO to know. And I've said as much about Yves Guillemot over at Ubisoft. Either you knew and you were okay with it and you got to go, or you didn't know and you're oblivious, in which case you got to go. Either way, you got to go. Other people, it's just going to get worse, gang. You chat bringing up, there's another lawsuit. There's a potential class action lawsuit by some of the stakeholders saying Activision Blizzard misled us in previous statements where they do talk about, hey, you're a big company. Is there any litigation we should know about? It's a disclosure form, and they kept saying, it's all just run-of-the-mill stuff. We don't anticipate any huge problems or anything that would impact our stock price when they knew this investigation was going on. So that's another potential thing. Bobby Kotick has come out and said stupid stuff. Hired a law firm to play third party here that is known for union busting. By the way, Ian Hazzikostas, the World of Warcraft lead, used to work for that law firm. I mean, it's just absolutely a mess. On that topic, we did see ArenaNet's, one of ArenaNet's founders, come out and say, you know what? It's time to unionize. Jeff Strain, now at Undead Labs, a founder of Undead Labs, at one point worked for Blizzard, co-founded ArenaNet. He came out and said in an entire letter to his staff that, it's time. It's time for video game employees, industry professionals to unionize. And at the end of his letter said, I welcome my employees to unionize, and I'm giving my full endorsement and support to an industry-wide adoption of unions. I also encourage the leadership of game industry companies, large and small, corporate and independent, to join me in endorsing and advocating for unionization as a concrete, actionable step towards improving our industry. Now, this is sure to rustle a few feathers at the corporate level and may even rustle a few feathers for individuals or gamers who might have very pro or anti-union stances in their life due to whatever circumstances or their experience. But a big name stepping forth, Troy, saying, you know what? I really don't think there's a way to fix this with the business as is. Something big has got to give to start fixing this.
The big problem here is those are the words of a man who sounds like he's probably got his house in order. I don't know the situation at Undead Labs, but it sounds like his house is in order. And if his workers were to unionize, he knows that he's already doing well, and anything that they want beyond that, he's willing to give. Unfortunately, you go to Activision Blizzards of the world and larger companies like that make billions and billions of dollars, they don't want to sacrifice a few million to make their workers' lives easier. They don't want unionization. They don't want fair wages. They don't want to pay what people are worth. So, if you're in a good place and you're already taking care of your employees, that's great. But the problem is we need these big companies to not hire immediately, instead of resolving your problems, union-busting law firms to make sure that your employees don't revolt against you and, God forbid, stand up for themselves. That's the big problem we're facing here.
Yeah, it was nutty. Okay, I understand the need for Activision Blizzard to want to hire a third party. Not only to give the impression of neutrality, even though only one of the two parties pays that third party, but it's trying to give the impression of, hey, there's a neutral third party here involved, but also to help protect them legally against other stuff that may be happening here too. So I get the idea. I wasn't surprised, Wilfredo, that they brought in a third party at all. That I fully expected as, move number 2 on the list, right? Move number 1, fire these people with a list of names. And move number 2, bring in a third-party law firm because our legal department apparently hasn't even been on top of it the way they should be, or we wouldn't be in this mess right now. So let's get a third party in here, and it'll look good PR-wise. But then you bring in a law firm that is specifically noted for working with Amazon to keep unionization down, and now you have the employees of Blizzard not wanting, they're just like, no, we reject this third party outright. And big names in the industry saying, it's time to unionize. It's time to unionize. And that has, there are pros and cons with unionizing, just like there are pros and cons with not being unionized. But it does, in this situation, afford a bit more protection status against things like pay discrimination and things like that, because the union's contract sets forth the pay windows, and those just have to be abided by. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, or whatever. Just absolutely confusing move, but I don't think you're ever going to get the EAs, the Activisions and stuff of the world to even remotely allow this, Wilfredo, without huge, huge financial pressure. It's going to take employees and customers en masse just refusing to funnel money or production or skills into the company. And I don't know if, given income disparities, that can financially happen, right? You got to go to work to feed your family, but you want to work in a better environment. It's an odd situation and a difficult situation for some of these employees to be in.
Yeah. I can tell you from both sides of the spectrum, because I once was in a union.
Same here.
And I also worked for Amazon. So I can tell you from both sides, there are a lot of pros and cons. The worst thing that can happen when it comes to actually getting a union set up within the gaming industry is that the union basically works for the company. And they're just a bunch of yes men. Sure, no problem. They'll give the appearance that the union is there, but the representation is not there. So therefore, everything that every employee is seeking is not going to be
should be clear that that's a potential con, though.
That is
not what
guaranteed.
that is not what would 100% happen. But we've seen that in other industries over the last X decades here in the United States occasionally happen.
Right. The other side is, though, if there is no union, of course, all the company's going to worry about is that bottom line. Are they making money? Which means somebody at the top is going to go, I want to make more money than these people. And there's no real regulation. There's no representation. No one who's a everyday grunt employee, bottom data entry employee is ever going to have enough say or enough power to go, hey, we're being treated and discriminated upon based upon, wage disparity and things like that. It's not going to work. It ultimately, there's a very, very slim area and where this all works out, where the employees are in a good spot, they're not stressing out, and they're getting paid, and the company makes money, but it's not egregious levels where you have someone who's making 20 to 30 times over, the person below them, and that's on a higher or upper management level. So would I like to see unionization? Absolutely. Would I like for it to work? Yes, of course.
Yeah. It also
what's the likelihood?
Yeah, 50, and the thing is, of course, with union activity, Troy, it's going to require give and take, right? Both parties. That's the whole. To negotiate a union contract takes both parties. Yes, you can strike, right, and you can walk out and apply that financial pressure to. But at the end of the day, both parties have to be willing to negotiate to a certain extent. I obviously feel like the employees are in a more a higher position there and willing to say, look, we understand you got to make money. We understand you are a publicly traded company, and that comes with a whole nother set of circumstances. I'm less likely to believe that the EAs, the Activisions of the world, are even willing to entertain this discussion, let alone the actual negotiations of a union contract.
Well, they've already proven that they consider these people expendable. No matter who you are, no matter how long you've been in the industry, no matter how important you are to whatever project you're a part of, you're expendable. The moment you start making too much money, they want you gone. They don't care that you're the best at what you do. You make X amount of dollars, which is hurting their bottom line. They need to replace you with somebody who will do it cheaper.
Yeah, what's the saying I always heard was, don't get too attached to your employer, because when you die, your job will be posted online faster than your obituary.
Yes, sir.
We shall see. Honestly, I think at the end of the day, unionization or not, if Blizzard survives, and I do put the word if there, if Blizzard survives all of this, it is going to be just barely in name only. Like it has to be a remarkably different place to survive at this point. And you know what? I don't even know if Activision at a certain point says it's even worth carrying Blizzard in the name anymore. It's just Activision from here on out.
But that would be the ugliest scenario. Activision drops the Blizzard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be pretty ugly. Fortunately, they don't pay me enough at MMO Bomb for me to be expendable. Jason. Speaking of other news, China, they've been kind of bashing video games lately. We've got a number of different articles up on MMO Bomb over the course of the last few months at China kind of pointing their sights directly at the game industry, and specifically speaking, minors. spending too much time playing games. The Chinese government is not liking that, not liking how many people are becoming nearsighted, blaming that solely on video games.
You mean all these things that have already been proven don't actually happen?
Right. Here's the odd part of this week's news on this front, though. Tencent and NetEase took a little bit of a stock hit. Why? And when we're talking about a little bit, by the way, we were talking about 6% hit and an 8% hit, respectively, which is gajillions of dollars for these companies.
The percentage is low, but the money's high.
Yeah, the dollars.
Did you see the graph? It just spiked down.
Yeah, the dollar amounts be high. Their state media in China calling the video games, addictive, and comparing them to opium. Something that the nation of China would have experience with, right? I mean, they got a whole history with opium. Mm. They say that the online gaming addiction among children is widespread and could negatively impact their growth. Claim more than half of Chinese children were nearsighted and that online games impact their education. They did previously want a freeze on the approval of games in China in 2018. Again, going after this whole nearsighted argument. And so what do they want to do? Well, their Tencent is limiting game time for people under 18 to 1 hour, 2 hours on holidays. It'll also forbid children, from being 12 or under from spending money in their games. That one I don't think is all that unreasonable, right?
Yeah, that one, I like that
one. Yeah,
I'm good for that one.
Yeah, that one kind of makes sense. And these are the only two companies that were specifically mentioned by CNBC, but there's an awful lot of, like MiHoYo. I mean, they're right in Shanghai with Genshin Impact and Impact Third and stuff like that. But yeah, comparing it to opium, Troy, like how hyperbolic can we make this? Opium!
I laugh.
Yes!
I laugh only because I lived through the Mortal Kombat controversy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Our country, the US of A, is not exactly innocent of just creating these outrageous accusations against video games. Lord knows. Thankfully, we've moved past that a lot. We still get this crap sometimes, but as addictive as opium, that's fantastic. The Chinese government doesn't want to control its people whatsoever, does it? Like, I don't need to control every aspect of your life at all. Oh, wait, yes, I do.
Jason Winter, I lived through the D&D satanic panic of the 1980s.
That was a real thing, man.
It definitely was. It definitely was. Wilfredo, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, I don't know.
This is, all right, here's the thing. I am totally down for limiting to an hour a day for children, making sure that anybody under the age of 12 doesn't spend money. Totally down for that. Comparing it to opium, okay. I have never seen somebody just go one day, you know what? I'm tired of doing opium. I'm going to stop. And then just blank for 5 straight months, not touching the stuff. Meanwhile, hey, I'm going to play Bloodborne today and then blank on it for 5 months and never touch this.
It's not that I necessarily disagree with the terms and conditions set forth here, right? And I've talked on the show before about raising my own kids. When they were younger, we did limit them to 1 hour of screen time a day and 2 hours of screen time a day on the weekend. So this is the model that I basically use with my kids. The part I disagree with is that was what I did, my wife and I, with our kids to ensure that they were doing their homework, that they were getting activity outside and playing, that they were, doing things with the family and stuff like that. It wasn't the government telling me I had to do that for my children, Wilfredo. It was that was the way we parented.
Right.
And if it wasn't going to hurt them, your children could play 2 or 3 hours in a day.
Because, there were exceptions made to the rule. It's exactly. Christmas. They got their games, and you go ahead. Stuff like that.
What do you think's going to happen when they get a PlayStation for Christmas?
Yeah.
Right. They're going to play it for a while. And that's the thing. It's one thing when parents say, hey, 1 hour a day, got to keep your grades up at a certain point. Otherwise, you take it away. fine. But that creates this, work reward situation where it's like, okay, I earn my privilege to have this stuff. Makes sense. When your government says, no, you cannot do this, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, and it's also teaching moderation, teaching respect for the rules, teaching, like you said, the value of understanding, hey, if I don't do these things, I'm going to get things taken away, and so I got to earn those privileges back. It's not, well, because Big Daddy China said so.
Way too much, over the top. Somebody needs to take a seat, stop drinking so much tea, and calm down.
Opium. Video games like opium. Next report out of China will, I'm sure, be resulting, or the reporting of video games cause real life violence. Stand by for that report from China. Maybe we'll send Jason over there to do some reporting when he gets back home from the polls today.
Somewhere in the history books that was a thing. I'm going to go back and check.
Yeah, that was a thing too. Last thing in the news: Rift's 7-day free Patreon trial disappears from Steam. Now, this could mean nothing. Right? Could be nothing, just they're just not going to do it anymore. But it was very quiet. Credit to Connor over at MMO Fallout. That's where I saw the news reported, because it wasn't reported in the Rift forums or anything. Just the 7-day free patron pass gone. Now, they do have the Discord server. I'm not on it, so I don't know exactly how poppin' that place is. But if you go look at the Rift forums, they're basically a ghost town. They're just basically a ghost town. Like, one of the foremost, there's only 4 posts from the dev teams in, like, the news and announcement stuff from this year in there, from 2021. And one of them is advertising a totally different Gamigo game. It's not even Rift related. It's just they threw an advertisement for one of their other games in the Rift forum. So I don't know, maybe it's more popping on the Discord. We'll see. But yeah, this pass is gone. Can't do it anymore. Is it just nothing, Wilfredo, or is this spell possible future maintenance moding, closing, scaling
future
back?
Maintenance moding?
Yeah, I know, right? It's already been maintenance for years now. Like, what do you but like, let's say official maintenance moding, then. What do you think, Wilfredo?
People still play Rift?
Not for 7 days free patron status anymore. They don't.
I mind you, I still have like the Glyph launcher for Arcade, but people still play. Why isn't this game in maintenance mode now?
It is, just not officially.
Well, they need to get on it, because someone needs to tell the 16 players, 15 players, 14 players that their game's about to become outmoded. Like, this is not surprising in the slightest. This doesn't phase me in any way, shape, or form.
Would you be surprised to know that there's just under 300 players on the Steam version right now?
Oh my God, it's still in triple digits.
Yeah. And that's just Steam. Like, the bulk of their audience is obviously going to be the Glyph launcher, because it didn't come to Steam until like recently. So 300 on Steam.
I bet there's another 500 in the Glyph launcher.
Yeah, probably like 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there. Troy, does this spell doom and gloom for the game? Is Gamigo getting ready to wind it down officially? Or is this just, hey, nobody's using this anymore. It costs us money to actually do it anyway, so just get rid of it.
That game only exists to squeeze as many dollars out of it as they can right now. So that's 7 free days that maybe somebody would have paid them instead. So they're getting rid of it for that. This game was doomed the moment Gamigo bought it. So no, this is not.
I think it was doomed before that. I think
yeah.
Tryon wasn't exactly doing good things with titles. Remember, Gamigo basically picked these up in a fire sale. Remember? Yeah. The courts were basically just like, does anybody want these?
What's sad is they're probably looking back. We could have just bought Rift.
Right. All right, moving on. Let's talk about some new games, some sneak peeks. We've got a little more information, not a lot, but a little more information about a few things. So Nexon kind of just dumped a ton of little pieces of info about a bunch of different projects that they're working on. Now, this first trailer that I'm showing here is allegedly actual engine and in-game footage for something we talked about a few weeks ago. That is their upcoming looter shooter Project Magnum. We'll still put the disclosure on this one.
That's Destiny. Look at the thing.
Yeah, right? Like, as soon as you watch that trailer, you're like, wait, is that the Traveler? Like, oh, no, because it's a black sphere, not a white sphere. So, no, that's totally different from the Traveler. And you see, I think in the trailer, you see, like, a red one, too. So, like, I don't know if it breaks apart into a bunch of aliens, or, like, I don't know what it is, but, yeah, it was definitely gunning for the Destiny vibe to it. Put the disclosure on it. We don't know what, if anything, of this list of things we're going to touch on here, and we're not going to touch on all of them. Go read Jason's article on MMOBomb.com if you want to peek at all the different things Nexon teased. We don't know what's free, what isn't, when released. Like, that's it. But another trailer for Project Magnum. I like looter shooters. I like Destiny. Nexon has me a little leery. I don't know. It's Nexon. I don't know. But honestly, watching this, here's the red orb that I was talking about. I was kind of like, well, yeah, I mean, this is exactly the type of thing I expected it to be. I will play this, Wilfredo. I will definitely check this out. I'm enough of a looter shooter fan, and that trailer looks good enough that I'm like, definitely, I'll give that a shot.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And like, I saw it, and I was like, when I first saw the gigantic orb, I was like, that's got Destiny vibe. But I saw that there was a change. And that it's third person, which means I can get my girlfriend to play it. So,
she's just not into the first person gig of Destiny.
She plays first person, immediately gets motion sickness.
Yeah.
So now
that happens to Q with some games too. Like first person will get her a little vertigo and stuff.
Warframe messes me up.
Oh yeah, I've seen you play Warframe and have to just shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, you know what? I gotta go play Minesweeper for a few hours.
Yeah, I need something to stay still.
I think some of the movement in here looks really cool too.
It looks like there's a lot of traversal, especially vertical traversal. So seeing the ripcord and then getting yanked up there and then moving around as smooth as everything seems, this looks like it's going to be a pretty awesome game. So I'm definitely trying it out when it comes out.
Troy, third person, I would assume has got to do it for you. That helps you be a little more interested in it than if it were for first person for reasons we just talked about. But what'd you think watching what they say is in-game, either in-engine or actual game footage?
I don't think so.
No, why not?
I don't believe that. This is not going to look this good when it comes out. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry to burst anybody's bubble, but
you think they're just flat out lying?
Yes.
Because there's no equivocate on what they put on there. It just says engine footage and in-game footage. And you can kind of get a bead on what is what as you see the different, like there's a few moments where you see the player shooting some stuff and other players around as well that aren't like, it doesn't look cutscene-y. It looks more like multiplayer. I don't know. I think it looks good. You're not interested at all?
No, because it's Nexon. No.
Womp, 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 womp.
All right, how about this then? One of the other things they talked about was Kart Rider Drift. I played Kart Rider Drift. It feels like a year and a half. It feels like this has been in beta or development for like a decade now. It has been a while, but it feels like a decade. So we're going to take a look at some of the customization. That's what they kind of showed off here. If you're looking for a kart simulator, Kart Rider Drift, very in the Mario Kart vein of games. I actually kind of enjoyed it a little bit while I was playing it. There wasn't, again, this was a couple of years ago, I think. There wasn't a lot to it at that point. I think there's like 2 or 3 tracks and like 4 or 5 different characters and stuff like that. But it's a cutesy go-karty game. It played well. I don't have any gripes with that. And monetization, like you could monetize the hell out of this just like Rocket League, right? Car decals and tires and stuff like that. That's right up Nexon's alley.
Until they put the speed boosts into the cash shop. And the shield activations in the cash shop. I would love a good kart game. I really would. I would love to find one that's just really fantastic.
Is it just Nexon that makes you think this ain't it?
this is not going to be it. I don't want to pay for shields and speed.
I don't know. It was like we had no cash shop back then, so I don't know. It's been a long time since we played it.
Hey, wouldn't be the first time a cash shop got us.
That's right.
Have one when we looked at it.
Wilfredo, you interested in this at all?
I mean, it's a kart game. So there's nothing bad about it. I'll give it a shot. I mean, I'm terrible at Mario Kart. I was terrible at Crash Kart racing, so I'll give it a shot just so I can lose. But yeah, I mean, it's not over the top, egregiously filled with ridiculousness. So, and not to mention the car customization, which is pretty cool. I'm totally down for that. So I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, they're like resizing everything on this customization. It kind of flies by. They don't give you really a chance to look at it in detail.
It's not that creative, by the way.
Is that why?
Look like that.
Yeah, that's why they fly by, because this is not in-game or engine footage either, according to New Fridge. Here's one that Jason was kind of digging, called Project HP. Looked very like medieval battle style, kind of like almost a Conqueror's Blade type of game, but looked a lot more player-based. Like, there weren't as many, NPCs running around that you were commanding units. It looks like it's a very focused, heavy on individual players. Now, we don't know a lot. Maybe there's units and things like that. But as far as the look, like, if you could imagine, this is Jason's type of game right here. Yeah. Like, you don't even need to think about it. As soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, I think Jason will be a little interested in that one. And then he pings me a little later, hey, I'm doing up that Nexon thing you sent me. This one looks kind of interesting. And I'm like, I knew that one was going to be. So yeah, very Conqueror's Blade. We don't know much about this yet. They talked about a lot of stuff. Project SF2, a content-making platform called Project Mod. There were trailers for Mabinogi Mobile, Tailsweaver M, Project ER, so and 24-hour massive battles in real time in that game. Overkill, a side-scrolling PC RPG. Like, they revealed a lot here, Troy, as far as upcoming stuff, but not a lot of information. So I get it's like a wait and see.
They've got a lot of stuff in development. We just don't know much about any of it.
Yeah. Before we head on over and do the weekly bombs, we did get our Bless Unleashed interview questions back. The article is available on mmobomb.com. You can find it right in our homepage banner. An interview with Round 8's Jason Park, head of studio for Bless Unleashed. We talked about that. Now, the game did launch on PC on Steam today, or is launching today. I don't know if it has actually launched since we started the cast. Maybe. I don't know. Go and read the interview. I do want to cover a couple of questions here. Not too much time, but so this is a weird spot for me, right? I want to give credit where due. Jason Park was very direct. I got to give credit there, Troy. And I know you read the interview and you're going to have some thoughts about stuff, but this is one of those situations where I feel bad because I'm about to blast the shit out of this game. I'm about to blast the hell out of it. But for the interview, I've got to credit Jason Park and the team for being very, very direct. They did not dodge any of my questions. They did not ignore any of my questions. They answered every single one of them, and for the most part, avoided PR bullshit double talk. Right?
That was my biggest surprise reading through this, is the very tiny amount of PR speak.
Yeah,
that was actually in this.
Yep. So I did start off with just hey, can you introduce yourself? But then I kind of wanted to get right off the bat the elephant out of the room, right? And I said, Bless Unleashed has had a very unusual development path. First, Bless Online launches. Then we find out another team is working on this console game, Bless Unleashed. Then Online closes, and we fast forward to Unleashed now getting ready to launch on PCs. Was a PC release always part of the plan, or did this just seem logical after the demise of Bless Online? And this is one where I think there's probably the most PR speak in here. For us, it was about finding a way to make it up to the fans of Bless Online. We know Bless Unleashed is just an overall better game, and we think we've learned a lot since launching it on Xbox, to the point where we think PC players will really enjoy the experience. So I kind of had to pull out of that it was not originally part of the plan to ever bring this to PC. And you might not think Bless Unleashed is a great game. I don't think it is a great game by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think most of us would agree it is better than Bless Online. So there's nothing inherently wrong with the answer, Troy. It just felt weird to be saying we're doing this to make it up to the Bless Online fans. That part of the answer felt a little disingenuous from me.
Well, essentially, they're coming to PC because Bless Online failed. Is the reality of it. There probably initially weren't any ideas to bring it to PC. It probably was just supposed to be a console-only game. But then when Bless Online crashed so hard, somebody up the chain, the owners of the IP, those wonderful, wonderful folks at NeoWiz, decided that, hey, we need something on PC too. Hey, guys that are doing Bless Unleashed, would you please release on PC as well? And they were probably sitting there like, have you seen our game? Because when PC players see it, they're going to know what it is.
Yeah. Wilfredo, I asked like kind of 2 back-to-back questions. Here's technically 3, but I'm not going to hit the first one. I asked if Founders Packs were going to be coming to the PC. Remember, this had to go through translation, so this was like a weeks-long process to get this interview. The Founders Packs had not been announced yet when I had submitted the questions. But following on that train of thought, I said, will those that purchased Bless Online PC packs receive anything if they opt to support Bless Unleashed? Something that they said way back when that they were considering some type of way when Bless Online went down that they could, provide some recompense to those players on the Bless Unleashed front. I guess the answer was no. Because they came back with, no, there is no special reward for former Bless Online players, but there is also no purchase necessary to play Bless Unleashed. Nice plug.
So your reward for backing Bless Online is the ability to play Bless Unleashed, because as I've been saying since the beginning, you financed it. Thank you.
Following on that, I said, what is the team's response to posts and conversations online that call anything Bless-related a scam, given the not stellar track record of the IP over the years? And I specifically notated for them, obviously the failure of Bless Online, but then the problems with Bless Mobile and it shutting down in Korea, and it doesn't have a great track record. Honestly, there's no way around that. What do you say when people say this whole thing is a scam? This IP is a scam. They say the internet uses words to express their frustration. We can't blame them. The best we can do is make the best game we can and hope people like it. I mean, pretty freaking direct. You might not like the answer, but pretty direct, Wilfredo.
Here's my thing. There's 2 points I want to make. The first one is credit where credit is due. Because at least they're saying, look, we're going to be upfront. We're going to be transparent. Yeah, we're not doing anything for the players that we did burn. But this version you don't have to pay for. So if you want to try it out again, here it is for you to make the choice. I'll give them that. It is kind of a smack in the face though, because it's like, we did burn you once before. We offer Founders Packs. We want you to come play again. But just so you know, as a reminder, that happened before.
Yeah.
So it is a bit shaky for Bless Online fans who are like, you know what, I'm done. The option is there now. It's at least a choice. It doesn't have to be, I have to invest money in order for me to play the game. It's now, all right, I can try it out to see if it's something I still want to play, even though I'm not happy with what happened before.
Yeah, and I'm not going to read the rest of the interview. Go check it out on the site. We talk about things like Bandai Namco not being the publisher of the PC version. Is that going to change the cash shop for the PC version versus the Xbox version at all? Does that totally negate any future potential cross-play capabilities since you've got different publishers for the 2 different versions of the game? We go into a lot more in there. Ultimately, I think at the end of the day, it's just don't. Just frickin' don't. I cannot in good conscience say, give them a shot. Obviously, I could say don't buy anything. And Jason put it succinctly last week. It was like, you know what? I don't feel bad for you. If you buy something in here, I don't feel bad for you. You're doing it to yourself at this point. But I also can't. I got to take it a step forward and say, I can't recommend personally playing it. Maybe it's for you, and if it is, great. I'm glad you found a game you like. I don't want to, you to not find a game that you like, but I just can't. I just can't with this series anymore. And Troy, I know you can't from the beginning. So do you want an Exalted Founders Pack so that you can stream the game Thursday?
We'll see. The viewers better make me believe that I need to play the game.
All right, let's slide over to the weekly bombs. I mean, credit where due, right? The answers might have been crappy and not what you wanted to hear, but they were direct and crappy. They didn't jump around. It was like anything for Bless Online players. They were like, nope, nope. I got to give an obvious da-bomb. If you know me, the Braver class launching in Phantasy Star Online New Genesis. Fantastic. It was a bit of extended maintenance. They had a little more wait than usual than was originally scheduled, but it is now available if you want to check out the Braver class. Giving it a huge da-bomb and thumbs up. Go ahead, Wilfredo.
So this kind of goes along with the last thing we were just talking about, which brings me to that second point, which is I want to give a da-bomb to MMO Bomb for asking the hard-hitting question.
I know specifically why you are saying that.
So, yeah, definitely giving a da-bomb
to
viewers.
Remember when we talked a few weeks ago about me getting emails that have nothing to do with MMO Bomb, right? Me getting emails asking for their Mabinogi password to be reset or their account to be unbanned from Elsword. Like, we get those all the time. There's sometimes you just don't know what to do with somebody. I went ahead and got the MMO Bomb Twitter account blocked by a user this past week. They went ahead and blocked me, or blocked MMO Bomb. Why? Wilfredo did a giveaway stream that we partnered with Star Trek Online. Now, when we do these giveaway streams or the giveaways on the site, those aren't ad revenue generating or anything like that. You don't pay to do a giveaway on MMO Bomb. You want to buy ads? Yeah, you pay for that. You want to do a giveaway? That's free. Like you want to do a giveaway? Send us the shit. That's it. We'll give it away. No problem. When we partner to do a stream, there is no exchange of compensation or anything like that. It's, yeah, we'll give away your stuff. Oh, and you're going to give me a dev to talk to for an hour? Cool. Let's just do it live then, and we'll give away the keys while we're talking. So Wilfredo did an excellent stream with the Star Trek Online. I believe it was the community manager, right?
Yeah.
Of all people, it wasn't a dev, it was the community manager, okay? And that's it. They were showcasing the Risa event that was a limited time event in the game. Gave away a bunch of keys while we were doing it. That was it. Just chill, hang out, talk to the CM, do Risa, and give away some shit to viewers. Somebody tweeted very upset with us that we did not ask the hard-hitting questions of the Star Trek team while we were doing that stream. It's a giveaway stream.
We are literally here to give you stuff, and
we're trying to give you the free stuff from the game, man.
In no way, shape, or form, anywhere attached to this event that we announced days ahead of time, too, on the site, did it ever give the indication that we were going to be interviewing anybody. So we got called in bed, with the game companies and all that stuff. And I just said, I'm sorry that this stream wasn't for you. This was not in any way, shape, or form meant to be an interview. It wasn't advertised as such. This was literally a hangout and pass out some keys to some viewers. That apparently made it even worse, according to this person, because then we were totally in bed with them. Like, what? I don't understand. This isn't an interview. Not only did we not ask the hard-hitting questions, we didn't ask any questions because it wasn't an interview. And if you want, go look at some of our interviews on the site where we ask questions that sometimes are flat out ignored, and we call that out. We call that shit out. We don't have any tolerance for that. We ask the hard ones and go, nope, I can't be bothered to waste my time. And I said, okay, have a good day then. And then got blocked. After he called out Wilfredo for liking all of my comments. Called Wilfredo a sycophant. I guess he thought Wilfredo's Twitter account, which is clearly named the same thing that was on the stream, was a totally different person. And he was like, yeah, he's a sycophant. And I was like, no, he was the one in the stream that you're criticizing for no reason. So, of course, he's going to like that you got called out for this.
Bruh.
So that is to give you why Wilfredo specifically used the term, thank you for asking the hard-hitting questions of Bless. Yeah. Go ahead, Troy.
You know what? I'm going to have to disagree with a lot of folks in chat and probably a lot of folks out there. Dub-bomb to Amazon Game Studios for delaying New World. Thank you for not pushing out broken game. Well, it's not even broken. It's just not ready yet. It's not polished. It's not ready yet. Thank you for delaying instead of going ahead and pushing it out. This company especially is not going to get a second chance to make another first impression. And it's make or break for them.
On Jason's behalf, I'll give an A-bomb to the person at Amazon Games who thought the game was ready to launch last year.
Right. So thank you for delaying instead of pushing out stuff that isn't ready. I know there's a lot of folks out there who are really coming at you negatively because it's delayed again. There's a lot of us who liked the game, want to play the game, and yeah, I'm excited for the game, and yeah, I was a little sad on the inside that it's delayed, but thank you for going against the norms, delaying instead of pushing out.
Viewers from chat, Old Glory, A-bomb to delayed world, New World, excuse me. Carrie saying, da-bomb for Yoshi P, even with everything going on, still humble and down to earth on interviews. Anno saying, A-bomb for Amazon, $1 trillion company that can't fix their game in time. Ninja saying, dub-bomb to the Braver class and to Sega for fixing the 250 bugs in the game's code, and to the dev that came into the game and asked what we want, put it in the game, but could not do with more side missions. Baron saying, dub-bomb for Amazon for waiting to put out a game. And this is pretty divisive, right? It's like 50-50 splitting here.
It usually
dub-bomb to Blizzard for giving J. Allen Brack the boot, the only good thing they did in the past few years. Jason, A-bomb to stubbing my toe hard this morning. It's now a delightful shade of purple. Ooh.
Nice.
From the viewers, Michelle Sanctuary, if Guild Wars 2 expansions get regularly special promo sales and price cuts, we're all for it. Yeah. Not too shabby picking that up for $30 when it comes out. Go ahead, Troy. Whoa, that is the wrong button. Go ahead, Troy.
Rick Hunzinger. Honestly, I don't mind paying for Guild Wars 2 expansions, but I just wish its interest lasted longer than finishing the story, because after that, it's just a ridiculous currency grind.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a statement that I feel in my soul.
Facts.
Go ahead, Wilfredo.
Metallica fan 1442. Sorry. Jason's reason for stopping playing Conqueror's Blade and FOMO with battle passes, etc., is the exact reason why I stopped playing World of Warships Legends on console. I was logging in every day to grind out dailies, battle passes, legendary ships, things, etc., because I didn't want to miss out on the next premium ship. In the end, I realized I did not enjoy the game at all.
Well, that's like a stunning realization. I've spent 700 hours in this. I hate this. Why have I spent 700 hours in this?
If that would have happened to me in Morrowind when I first played it, I would have been furious.
Misfit Rain says, dub bomb to the auto hotkey tune in Path of Exile Jason talked about, randomly generating a time to throw a wave at passersby so he will not get timed out and get logged. Go ahead, Troy.
Yamikami, A-bomb to my arm. I am in pain. So much pain. Also, quick reminder, A-bomb to Blizzard till the end of time.
Oh, I'm sorry about your arm, Yami. Wilfredo.
Nizzy A, another Founders Pack for another version of Bless. The people who paid for this game need to have their brains checked ASAP. Yeah. I think Troy would agree.
Jason would definitely agree. Oxen Barnstoker III. I love Oxen every time you comment. Like, I'm going to read your comment the way I hear it in my head when I see a name like Oxen Barnstoker III. Guild Wars 2 cosmetic progression is completely broken and meh. Every new skin is just different sparklies than the other. Everyone looks like a crazy sparkle pony, so nobody stands out impressively. That is the way, when you see Oxen Barnstoker III, you're just like, that dude's got it going on. That dude's got it going on. Go ahead, Troy.
Hawkmoon 7, my biggest disappointment of Guild Wars 2 is the elite spec system. It's complexity that leads to nowhere with no impact. The PvE is so easy, you can still just glass cannon DPS everything to death. Only PvP benefits from elite specs, and like 1% of the players play PvP. It's so dead.
Question of the week last week. Maybe you're a Blizzard fan, maybe you're not. We were setting that like specific company aside for a minute, but we did want to know, in your opinion, if your favorite game company did something you considered very objectionable, and that is a very kind word in this whole scheme. How easy do you think it would be for you to just quit playing a game that they make? Or would you even quit at all? So wide variety of opinions on this topic here. To call 2399 says, question of the week. We kind of followed up with this in the post-show chat live, but I'll leave it here anyway. If a company making the game I love did something as reprehensible as what ActiBliz did, I'd still play the game and not even consider otherwise. Like most human beings, I have an uncanny ability to compartmentalize when it suits me. I'd like to answer differently, but I'd just be lying. And you know what? That is painfully honest. Painfully
and you're not by yourself.
Honest. Yeah, and you are absolutely not alone in that. Painfully honest. And we definitely appreciate all the replies here, because some of them get just as equally painfully honest. Go ahead, Troy.
RS Jabber, not easy, but I'd take a long break for sure to digest the news and decide what to do next. If it's a company that won my trust and it's their first fall, I'd give them a second chance and return to the game as soon as they fix the problems.
Also, a valid path I think many are taking right now. You know, this is a bigger fall than like, oh, oops, we messed something up. This is a huge fall for Blizz, but this is an approach that a lot of people are taking. You know what? They've had my trust for all these years. Let me see how they fix this, and maybe I'll give them a second shot. Go ahead, Wilfredo.
Reckner Catalan, question of the week. As long as the game is enjoyable, I could care less about the people who made it. It's pretty obvious that people wouldn't have been that outraged if this came out at the peak of Blizzard's popularity, but with no notable title or successful expansions released in the last few years, it's no wonder that they get so much hate. Also, we're using products made in China by oppressed citizens every day for materials mined in Africa by people who are starving. I, for one, would feel a bit hypocritical if I quit playing ActiBliz games while doing this.
And you know what? You might think that response is cold.
It's not.
But there is a lot of merit to some of those thoughts, I think. Like, if you cut out everything from your life, Troy, that interfaced with anything negative, I don't know what you'd have left.
Oh, we definitely all of us, including me, pick and choose the things we want to make a stand about and not that we easily could. Absolutely.
Yami Kami, question of the week. I could live without playing most games, but if Capcom screws up and I have to decide to never play Monster Hunter again, I don't think I have enough conviction to do so. That was the line, Monster Hunter. That was the line for Yami.
There it is.
Monster Hunter. We have a clear, definitive line for Yami Kami. Any other company screws up, you're out. Capcom screws up, I got to think about this. I got to think about this.
Is Monster Hunter on the chopping block right now?
Right. Go ahead, Troy.
Sukapex. Oof, that's a tough question. You're basically asking if we should listen to Michael Jackson. If I was a WoW player right now, I'd unsub for a few months at least. More than that, I doubt it. I'm not that good of a person, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, this does...
To be fair, I'm a lifelong huge Michael Jackson fan. I really am. And I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it does start breaching into one of those artist versus art, comparison. Like, can you still go back and watch the original Cosby shows and appreciate those for what they were at the time and the comedy that was in them and things like that, knowing what you know now? The same thing with, Michael Jackson and other actors and celebrities. You kind of get that whole thing. If this company who is making the art you enjoy stumbles in this type of way, again, a very gentle euphemism for what Blizzard specifically did, yeah, it is a very awkward discussion for some people to have. Go ahead, Wilfredo, finish it up.
Sure. Misfit Rain, question of the week. So Amazon has done things that I particularly don't agree with, but I will still play New World. Excuse me. There's a package at the door.
Yeah.
Almost every day at my house.
All right, question of the week this week. Question of the week this week. I want to know, what do you think the future of Rift is? The 7-day patron pass is gone. The forums aren't getting updated. We know it's been in like kind of a maintenance mode, but all of a sudden having that 7-day pass, kind of weird. Is the game not long for this world? Is it just going to continue to be maintenance mode unofficially? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. While you're there, leave us your weekly bombs. Dub-bomb for something good, A-bomb for something bad in the world of gaming, or just life in general. And if you've got a question for the panel as we steam ever closer to episode 400 in 2 weeks, put it in the comments and I'll bring it to next week's show. Until then, Wilfredo, where can everybody find you?
Find me on the Twitters at Damian X Marius.
Troy.
You can find me in the YouTube comments, seeing if you guys really want me to play Bless Unleashed next week on the stream or not. You need to show up in the comments. You need to show up to the stream, because if you don't, I'm not playing it.
I'm Mike Bird. You can follow me personally right there at MagicMan1, but more importantly, follow at MMOBomb so we can tweet at you every time we go live with the Free-to-Play Cast on Fridays or any of our streams during the week, interviews, giveaways, and more. Stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.